For more on this case, we bring in Ahmaud Arbery's family attorney, Mr. Ben Crump. Thanks so much for joining us again, Mr. Crump. Let's talk about this nearly all-white jury. Help us to understand how the judge could say in one breath that there appears to be, quote, intentional discrimination, but at the same time, he lacks the power to reseat this jury.
It's very disappointing, not only to Ahmaud Arbery's parents, but everybody who you talk to. I know Attorney Merritt and I talked to the clients about it, and we were troubled even from the beginning when they allowed them to have 24 strikes. We knew that there would be fewer African Americans than there would be white citizens who were prospective jurors. And so if you had these many strikes, you knew there could be a strategy, a discriminatory strategy to strike all the blacks. So we think that was an issue. And we honestly feel that this is not a jury of Ahmaud Arbery's peers.
And I'm curious, just how does one go about determining, and who determines, the number of strikes that either side gets?
Well, that was up to the judge. Normally, it is 3 strikes per party. And so if you would have did it that way, the defendant's total would have had 9 strikes. But for some reason that we cannot understand, he allowed them to have 24 strikes. Furthermore, when you think about it, is a big question whether they would be able to understand the life experiences in the background of Ahmaud Arbery versus their commonality and their understanding of the life experiences and the perspective of Ahmaud Arbery's killers.
This trial had an unusually long jury selection process. Can you give us a sense of your confidence level that these 12 men and women can be unbiased about Ahmaud Arbery's killing?
Well, you know, his father and I talked about that just today, and we're praying that they will be fair and unbiased, because the video is so clear and unambiguous. As Mr. Arbery says, they lynched my son. I mean, you had his father, Greg McMichaels, on the back of the pickup truck with a shotgun. Ahmaud, and why? Because he was jogging while black. There could not be a more damning piece of evidence than that video. But with that said, we are not confident that this jury will treat Ahmaud Arbery and give him the same consideration that they would give his killers.
More generally, do you think that in particular this community might have had a more difficult time finding a diverse jury considering the makeup of that area?
Well, we believe if they would have been given limited strikes and the law would have been carried to the full extent to say that you could not strike all the black panels just because they were black, then we think they could have got an impartial, diverse jury. But if you see the pattern of them striking all the black jurors, then the court has to say something about that. And not only say something about it, but you have to do something about it.
Mr. Crump, let me put you on the spot here. Do you know the number of black people who were stricken? Like, out of you said they had 24 strikes, right? Do we know how many of them were black? Were they striking all the black people minus the one that they did include in the jury?
I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that the prosecutor made a request to have 8 black people that were stricken reinstated on the panel for further consideration, and the judge denied their motion.
That's interesting. You have represented so many families, of course, seeking justice. What do you say to them and to the Arbery family in particular? I know you say you were talking with his dad ahead of what will surely be a grueling and emotional trial.
That they have to continue to pray and stay strong together for one another, because it is not just about this trial, but it is about defining the legacy of their young son who was taken from this earth far, far too soon in the most tragic, devastating way.
And lastly, how are Ahmaud Arbery's family members and close friends doing tonight?
Well, they're a bit emotional. They are very concerned whether this jury will deliver a verdict that will be justice based on the evidence before them. You know, they are worried about all the stereotypes of how they're going to try to assassinate the character of Ahmaud Arbery. They're worried about whether the jury is going to fall for the stereotype of the scary black person. And so self-defense is applicable in this matter, even though they chased Ahmaud Arbery for almost 2 miles. How can you claim that you're afraid, but you're chasing him for 2 miles, and you had ample opportunity to call the police and let them address this matter versus trying to be vigilantes and
make a citizen's arrest is what they say they were trying to do, right?
Yeah, well, it was a lynch, and I agree with Mr. Arbery.
Ben Crump, we thank you so much for your time and joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.